Hi, my name is Kinley Snap. I'm doing book review number 4 for English 204, Dr. Barker. For book review number 4, I chose The One and Only Ivan by Katherine Applegate, illustrated by Patricia Castello. The publisher is HarperCollins. It was published in 2012, and the city of publication is New York, New York. The genre of this book is children's literature. It has won the John Newbery Medal Award. And the synopsis for this book is, the one and only Ivan and his friends are all living in a shopping mall. They put on shows for the audience. As their show becomes less popular, they get a new friend named Ruby. Ruby is a baby elephant. Soon after Ruby arrives, the show picks back up, and Stella, the older elephant, passes away. When Stella passes away, she makes Ivan promise to give Ruby a better life. Ivan, trying to keep that promise, helps all the animals escape in the middle of the night. They do not get very far when their owner finds them and brings them back to the shopping mall. Once they get back, they are in a scramble to try to find something new and exciting for the show. They discover that Ivan can draw. So Ivan uses his ability to help communicate to Julia, a little girl whose dad works at the shopping mall for all the animals, that the animals want to go back to their homes and be with animals like them. So Julia then tells a news reporter, and the community comes to the aid of all of the animals, and they fight for the animals' freedom. At the end of the book, each animal goes to their new home with animals just like them, and they live the rest of their lives somewhat free. So illustrations. This is a chapter book, but there are a few illustrations throughout the book, and the cover also has some illustrations. So the cover of this book is done in cartoon style, and the artistic medium for the cover, it seems to have a little bit of watercolor up here. It's probably hard to tell, but there's a little bit of watercolor. And then it seems as though Ivan and Ruby are probably done in acrylic paint. And then the illustrations throughout the book, here's one. It is also cartoon style, and it is seems to be done with a pencil. So the literary element for this book that I chose is point of view. This book is first-person point of view. The story is being told by Ivan. So everything about this is Ivan telling the audience or the reader about telling them his story. So there's a lot of I's and me's throughout this story to kind of help reiterate that it is first-person point of view. The critical evaluation of this book is, this is a good book for 2nd or 3rd grade, maybe even 4th grade. It's based on a true story from the perspective of the one and only Ivan. It is a chapter book, but it does have, it is simply worded. As you can see, there aren't very many words to the pages, and it's very, it's full of dialogue and short, easy things for children to understand. It is a big book too, but there are such short words on the pages that it should be pretty easy for a 3rd or 4th grader to read. So there are pictures throughout it, like I mentioned earlier, and those pictures are just a great way to help students kind of keep their imagination going, and help them envision some of the things that happen. For example, it has pictures of some of Ivan's drawings, so that kind of helps them to see kind of how he drew and what he was drawing. The downside of this book is that it is a book about animals in captivity, and they are trying to get free, so it could slightly disturb some students, but it is a very good book for teaching moral lessons and kind of to explain, we don't really want to keep animals in captivity. So the teaching idea that I have would be to use the book to explain and talk about animals being in captivity, and how they really shouldn't be in captivity unless they have a problem or a condition that would cause them to die in the wild. I would probably do a discussion about it first, and have students kind of reflect on what kind of happened in the book. And the animals in the book got a happy ending, but what about the animals that don't have a happy ending, and they end up passing away in captivity? And then I would have them kind of consolidate all of those thoughts and that reflection time into a reflection essay, and have all of them kind of write about, maybe how they feel about it. Is it a good thing for animals to be in captivity? Is it a bad thing? Is it a little bit of both? Just to kind of get them to really think about it and to really, take elements from this book and use it in their essays. And then I would probably take it a step further and have them share their essay with a friend or a group of friends, just to kind of continue to help with their fluency. And maybe one student thinks about it differently than another, and it kind of helps them, have a new perspective of their writings and, everything like that. So that's it. Thank you.